Hello, hello, hello. Anyone here? Everyone here? I hope you guys can hear me. We have a big announcement today. Anyone here? Everyone here? I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, apparently I'm live, and I should have probably done this in a separate window. But the audio seems good, so that's what's important. Okay, so we have a big upcoming live stream. Now, I was trying to be very careful about using a live stream, but like doing my due diligence, I checked that it is legal to show the live stream, what page to use to make sure it's legal. Like I went this Gemini told me the same thing. Look, this is done often, and that kind of thing. So we do have an upcoming live announcement. In the meantime, we can go over some breaking news. I want to see what's going on here. Oh, Islamic Resistance Iraqi announces
Good evening.
statement.
Before we begin,
Okay.
I'm proud to report that our country
Okay, here we
is
go.
safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are
Okay.
doing great. Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster after the worst inflation in 48 years.
It was pretty bad. I gotta say, it was pretty bad.
People pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders, many of whom killed more than one person.
That's a lot of murder.
Transgender for everybody, men and women sports.
They were cutting off the peepees and the boobies of the children. That is not good. It is not good to cut off the peepees and the boobies of the children.
Anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Hotter than any desert. Like I feel like I've heard this speech 100 times.
Did before.
Oh my
We
God!
have
Here we
more
go.
money
Okay,
being
Grandpa, I love
invested
you.
in the United States
Lay it
than
on me.
any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week, it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline.
Honestly, I thought this was going to be about, the election stuff, but when he warms up, he likes to warm up with the classics. This is what we call the classic. Trump is going to lay the classics on us.
Working families, thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips,
No tax on your tip.
on overtime, and no tax on Social
Not
Security
just
for
the
our
tip,
great
also
seniors,
overtime.
along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job creating business.
That moved a lot of plants from Mexico to the United States. Like Toyota had factories in Mexico that they moved.
But we can actually say of all time, and your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nations policy because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical.
Honestly, I don't know why we weren't on the for best nation policy.
Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov, this will ultimately reduce the cost of health care. You
Get
have
your
to
drugs,
go
homies.
to
Get your drugs.
TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of health care is coming.
Yes, yes. We got over here a physicist engineer is telling us, gotta love him. Marketeer through and through. Trump loves to do a summary of all his wins. He likes to take a couple of victory laps before he talks about the new victory.
To take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in
That's
their
a new
account,
one. That's a new one.
and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to trumpaccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country.
Did it say sign up your child or any child? I think it should be your child.
Months. That is zero. Nobody thought it was possible. We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed.
So here's the thing: if we start having the same oil as Brent, that means that Brent crude, Persian Gulf oil, isn't worth bringing because we have it local. It's a shorter trip and there's less risk. And the Persian Gulf allies should know if they don't get their shit together, no one's going to buy their oil.
Action to protect the integrity of America's elections.
Oh, here we go.
Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just.
Wait a minute. Who the fuck is this person think they're talking to? You don't fucking talk to me like that. What do you mean? I'm muting him whenever the fuck I want. What the fuck is your problem? You're on timeout, buddy. You got to learn to talk to me. I mute him whenever the fuck I want.
Infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes.
Oh, here we go. Here you go.
Exposes.
Here you go. You don't like that? You don't like that?
Possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you. The American people are beautiful, are great American people. But that all changes right now.
To Norman about this
the
shit.
documents we will release
I'm like
starting
Asmongold.
tonight have been
I'll hear
gathered
you out
by
if you
the
have
White
some
House
arguments.
government
You disrespect me.
transparency
You're fucking
task force, a great group of people,
This
along
isn't
with the staff
my
of the
anger.
President's
This isn't my stress
Intelligence
level.
Advisory
This is who I
Board,
am. And that will
supported
never
by
change.
our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov.
We may look into them.
Go check it out.
We
Our
may look into
purpose
those
in
documents
disclosing
after
this
this,
information
and
is
I will
not to
put the
weaken
link in the
confidence in
chat
election,
so that you
but
guys can
to
see those
earn
documents.
that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote.
I wonder who
and
made that
engage in
available.
other
I wonder who made that a
nefarious
weak system
activities,
easy
which
to
is
hack.
exactly what was
Because
happening.
I see it as someone was
This
looking the
data
other way.
loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up
very
from both the
comforting thought.
president and the American people like nobody thought was possible.
Yep.
U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as
Because China
president
loves
or
them.
to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country. A standard, very pat line that was divvied out to say the cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his reelection. Isn't that nice?
We all know why, too.
In mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure this didn't start in 2020.
When actually your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the president of the United States of America.
This is
the
obvious
Chinese
to me.
government
Like
sought
this
to
to me
identify U.S.
is just
journalists
obvious.
who had reported negatively on the U.S.
They've
president
been doing this.
and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S.
It has
president
like the opposite
to lose
effect.
the next election, and the reason they wanted
more
me
pressure
to
equals
lose
more
is
resistance.
because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden.
Look, and I realize, I just want to be clear, if you guys want to hear it directly from the
NSA
source,
reports
like
about
I
China's election targeting,
the link
were
here
kept
for
out
you guys,
of the
right?
presidential
if you guys want to turn me down
briefing.
for a little bit, or have
These
me in
were
another
briefings
window,
I would get
or just ignore
almost
me
every
and come
day.
back
Everything
after.
was kept out.
Look, that's
that was
completely
of
legit, right?
importance.
I'm not here to
One email
ruin
among
your enjoyment.
intelligence
I'm here
analysts
to
admitted that
accompany
they
you
had,
for
quote,
commentary
deliberately
if I can.
massaged
I don't want them to
the
lose any
presidential
views.
daily briefing to withhold information
And I don't want to
regarding
interrupt
Chinese
you.
activities related to the
I don't want to
election.
subscribe.
Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived
Now here, if you want some commentary,
motivations
you
to
want me
be
to read out some of your
blatantly
comments, I
political.
will. I want to
Recently, we
entertain you
found significant
as
numbers
we
of burn
watch
bags
this news.
in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be
Burn
burned.
bags.
It was supposed to be
I think he's
burned.
talking about burn bags.
These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky.
Someone
We
didn't want to
believe this
burn the
was
burn
not
bags.
done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that was supposed to burn the
Maybe
bag.
gross incompetence,
But the
maybe on
findings are
purpose, maybe by
stunning.
the grace of God.
Today,
Either
I'm
way, we
asking
found
the
the bag.
Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems. Dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long
Thank you very
known
much.
these
You
machines
just
are
came from Liberty
extremely
Politics.
exposed to
I
attack.
appreciate the people
As
here
one
and the
assessment
people there.
states, we judge
Why?
that the United
I don't want
States
Armin's channel to go down
adversaries,
drastically
including,
while I'm
at a
on.
minimum,
That would
Russia,
make me a hindrance
China,
on
Iran,
him.
North Korea,
So I don't want to
as well
try
as
to
non-state groups, have
second
the
guess you or
capability
tell you
to
where to watch. If
compromise
you want to
U.S.
watch over
election
here, I appreciate it. You
infrastructure.
want to watch over there,
That's
I appreciate
unquote,
it.
but that's
Both
some statement,
places
isn't
to
it,
view
made
are
by
good for me.
supposedly
So I appreciate
great
you on
patriots
both
of our
channels.
country.
I don't want to
The
be a drag
document
on
goes
either
on
channel.
to
I
further
appreciate all
state
of you for
that,
being here.
quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other
Hell yeah.
official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election
No.
processes
Don't
within
talk
the
shit
United
about
States
Goldie.
of America.
I'll fucking
Tonight,
ban you.
we're
We love
releasing
Goldie.
all of
Just
those
because we
findings
have
and
different
spanning from
channels
January
watching,
2020 to June 2026.
that doesn't mean
This
it's
is a
just a
cyber
different
threat
perspective
aimed
on the
at the very
same thing.
heart
I
of
love
our
Goldie.
democracy.
I respect Goldie.
Many
So does
people have questioned
everyone on the
whether
channel.
it could
Like, you may
actually
be joking, so
possible
I'm
to
not gonna
electronically
jump on your
manipulate
bones.
vote totals or
Right, I'm not
change
gonna be, but
election
I'm not gonna
results
allow
on
anybody to
these
talk shit about
terrible
Goldie here.
machines.
That's not
Today,
allowed.
we are releasing
Like, I'm
documents
way
that show
less
the
patient
CIA
than Armin when
obtained
it comes to that
reporting
stuff. I
of a
will accept
specific
that
plot
sometimes
to
people kid around.
do
You
a
see, he's
big
kidding. He was
number
joking. He
in
was joking.
favor of
Okay, I'm
the
sorry. I didn't
corrupt
want to make you
Maduro
feel bad.
regime in Venezuela.
But there will be
And
no
that's exactly
misspeaking
what
of Goldie here. I
happened,
think she's a
conspiring
wonderful
to
person. And
digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting
How can I say
included
this?
precise details
An
about methods to
exemplary Iranian.
regime develop to digitally
Admirable.
alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even
Exactly,
with an
Tuffy,
audit, no matter
exactly.
how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past.
And that's a
The
problem.
fourth
We
set
can't
of
have it hacked
documents
and
reveals that
compromised.
even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by
Apparently,
what
China
they
is
found.
deeply
They were
involved.
just so concerned. They couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can
It
possibly
was terrible. It was a very
defend
bad
it.
system.
It is not defensible.
I think we need to go back to paper
Hundreds of
ballots, like one of
millions
you
of
guys
US
in the chat
voter
was saying
files
it,
are
that
in the
we
hands
should
of foreign
absolutely go back to
governments.
paper ballots.
Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people
I'm hoping this is step
are
one.
listed and active
Like
in the voter rolls.
Will Nell is talking about
And yet we
consequences.
still
I
have
hope first
elections with
step one is data,
no
step
voter
two is
ID,
consequences.
no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count
Insanity.
the votes.
You
I
can't
wonder
have
what
that.
they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great
Yes,
country, and
like it
that's
is
true. You
very
can't
much
have a
a
great
protection
country
of their
without
own
free and fair
citywide
elections.
chaos and
Fraud like this
fraud.
should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets.
In a
Great damage has
heliocentric
been done
system,
to
the
our
Earth,
country.
actually the third world,
Our
right
elections
now,
were
the
left
gravity of this
vulnerable,
fraud
being rigged
is
and stolen,
making
and the
California the
trust of
center
the
of the solar
American
system.
people was lost.
That's the
This cannot
gravity
be
of the
allowed to
fraud. It's
continue. Every
changing all
American,
kinds of gravity.
whether you're a Republican,
I'm joking.
Democrat, independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world.
So here's the thing:
Secure
this
elections should be
disenfranchises every
a
Democrat that
partisan,
wants to
really.
vote for
We should
working
be
class.
together.
Even if they're
Democrats,
misguided, they're
Republicans,
voting for
independents,
working class
everybody.
blue dog
And it should
Democrats,
not be a
and
partisan
instead
issue.
a
It should
Hamas
cause to
flag
unite
waving
us, not to divide
DSA,
us. This should be a cause.
terrorist
We should
supporter
be
is getting
united,
elected because they're
not
getting disenfranchised too.
divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight,
Yes,
my
parallel gravity.
administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working
China gonna
closely
get some
to mitigate
sanction.
any
China
harm,
gonna
and
get some
we're taking
sanction.
swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked.
I
and we
would
can
hate us to be
never
hacked.
watch a stolen election
China.
again. Tomorrow, the
Well,
Secretary
that-
of Homeland
Well,
Security
Nell
will
is
hold
saying
a
it.
briefing
China.
to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it.
Look, people
And
don't
we're
know
also
this. He's gonna
committing to
not
be
talk nice to
working with
Ching Ching.
those
People
states
don't
and
know this,
local
but like,
jurisdictions to
if
help
you
them
ever
fix
talk to
and patch
like crime
known
bosses, if you ever
technical
talk to like high up
vulnerabilities
gangsters
before
and
the
killers and
midterm
that type of
elections. We
people,
have
like the
very
real
important
killers, like if you've
elections
ever met
coming
like a
up.
real for
We
real
want those
killer,
elections to be
or
honest.
like for
I've
real, a
also ordered
soldier that's
DHS to
been like
notify
out and
every state
about in the
about
crazy stuff,
non-citizens on
right?
their voter rolls and direct them to remove
They're
all
not nasty people. They
ineligible
tend to be
voters from
very,
the lists
very, how shall
immediately.
I put it?
But most importantly,
They're not
addressing this
looking for trouble.
crisis
They'll
of
be
election
they'll treat you
security
nice because
demands
they're
that
not really
Congress
looking.
must
People who have
pass
the
the Save
capacity to do
America
great
Act.
violence don't have to like try to
How
put that
easy is
impression
that
of
to
you. They
do
know
unless you want
that
to
they can do
cheat?
what they got to do if the time
The
comes. They know
only
the power
reason
they
you
got, so
wouldn't
they don't
do it
really like have an
is you want to
outward
cheat because your policies are so bad and your
expression
candidates are
of it.
so pathetic
You understand what
that
I'm
you
saying?
can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill
If
requires
you're
that
not
all
really
voters must
scared of
show
the guy in
photo,
front of you, you don't have to
voter
scream to him. You don't
ID.
got to
How
puff your
simple is
chest.
that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo,
So that's why
voter
this guy is
ID.
like nice to she.
All
No, he's a great
voters
guy.
must provide proof of
He's destroying China,
citizenship.
so I'm letting him.
Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places,
Ooh, we
mail-in
talk about
ballots
John
are
Thune here.
inherently corrupt.
Republican won't pass it.
So you would
Republicans
have
like losing. Yeah, that would be
no
a problem.
mail-in ballots except for
That would
illness,
be a problem.
disability,
Hey,
military
6 more years,
deployment,
right?
or
6 more years.
travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed
Look,
to
look at
stop
this. Look at
the
this. ABC cut
vulnerabilities
Trump's
that
speech
I've
off and called him a
mentioned.
conspiracy
To
theorist. I
all
wonder who's paying
Americans, I
them.
ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate,
Yeah, Joe
and
Rogan isn't liking
demand
the voter
that they
fraud. Like
pass
whatever you
the
think about the
Save
interview with JD Vance, he
America
does not like
Act
the voter
without
fraud.
delay. Together, we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger,
It definitely,
better,
COVID
and
definitely had
stronger
a
than
lot of layers
ever
that had nothing to do
before.
with sickness.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's it for the address. It was exactly half an hour. It was very nice, very nice, very nice, a very good address. Good indeed. We're the hottest country, hottest nation in the world. Oh, that's all. That was also going live. Like I said, I try to make sure that I wouldn't get anybody in trouble for showing this. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna look at some clips about it. Right now, we have reacted to the announcement by Trump. Some very revealing truths. I believe some like they have evidence. I don't think they're lying about the evidence. I don't think they're lying about having some burn bags that didn't get burned. I don't think they're lying about the ballot fraud that we have observed on video from many people. I don't know if he's gonna speak about the war. Like that was some I think the way I phrased it, it was voting machines and foreign interference may take center stage. The address could also touch on Iran and the economy. Like these were maybes. We didn't. No one knows what Trump is going to talk about at any time. Like he's a little unpredictable. Like we know he's a little unpredictable. But we went over what was there.
China engaged in other election related activities to
The 2018 midterms, China engaged in the election-related activities to undermine first administration, as the documented release shows. Now,
undermine
what I try want to find now is where is the I want to know where those documents are. I'm sorry. I got to talk a little bit to Grok to get it working. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes with machines, you got to kind of explain to them what you really want so they can kind of narrow the scope into what you're looking for. So I try to, try to make it understand as nicely as I can. Sometimes with AI, you got to like kind of like coax it into, oh, you put the link in the chat? I can't see it. It won't. You have to separate the .com and the .ww. Otherwise, I won't be able to find it. It put the S is next to the D chat. That's why I didn't write find. Let's see if it finds it. It found it. Six times. I'm trying to help train the algorithm. So this is my contribution to the Grok system, trying to help them analyze how stupid they are. All right. Let's go to the election integrity website. This goes into the vulnerabilities. I want to put it in the chat for you guys to analyze. All right, here it is. Oh, let me make sure I get it in both chats. Here we go. Now, this seems to be an interesting document, to say the least. We're going to look into this and not look at into what France 24 and NBC have to say. Fucking biased Grok trying to direct what I'm seeing here.
China.
You know who I want to, there's two people that I want to see get on this. One of them is Data Republican, because Data Republican is awesome. The other guy is, I think his name is Mike Benz. Let me see if I got the name right. He is really, really about screwing the deep state. Let me see if I find his name right. Scott Pressler should also get this documentation. Nick Shirley should get these documents, but he'll probably have people analyzing it for him. Gordon Chang, China Uncensored, China America Unscripted, The China Show, China Observer, Taiwan Talks. All these people should have a look at this. Come on, where are you, guy? Where is he? I think it's Mike Pence. Let me see if I can find it. Mike Pence. He goes after the deep state a lot. Yeah, it is Mike Pence. Let me see what he's saying. It's about to be on. This is 6 hours. Receiving some media queries about the joint statement, free expression. Okay. We're going to go into what we find about this.
Engage.
Because this has been kind of a bombshell.
Even shows that.
Now, what I want to show you is something I had here about the fraud, right? We're going to be talking about fraud. So I want to show you some
Thank you,
stuff
Mr. Leader.
we had here about the fraud.
We just the other thing.
The entire
And it's stuff that let me see if I can find it. Where is it?
You know what my gut.
I got to get it from my guy on Telegram. He was supposed to send me some new stuff with the rage. I don't have any rage for you guys ready. There was so much breaking news stuff yesterday, though, that I didn't really get a chance to go into the testimony that I wanted to get into. So we're going to get into that. And this is James O'Keefe. I want to follow him and put his link in the chat for you guys. James O'Keefe does a lot of investigative reporting. So that's why it's important to check out what he has to say on stuff. Oh, what did I do? Let's put this over here. There we go. It's important to check out what he has to say on stuff, which is why I do that. Where is my screen? Not that one, that one. Here we go. All right. Today I testified before UA Senate exposing the fraud in America. I shared what OMG, that's the O'Keefe. It's not oh my God. I know it sounds like oh my God. That's just good branding. That's got to be O'Keefe Media Group exposed on hidden camera. Petitions circulate paying homeless individuals cash offering and drugs in exchange for voter registration ballots. Now, this is very pertinent and very much evidence of what is being said. I think that opened the doorway. I think this opened the door. Okay. All right. Hey, I appreciate it, Beach Kid. Well, he's not going to hear me. I'm just going to. I'm going to just put it in the chat because he can't hear me. He's in the past of the show. He's going to do some catching up. He's watching at 2x speed. Okay, so I shared what O'Keefe Media Group exposed on hidden camera. Petition circulators paying homeless individual cash, offering drugs in exchange for voter registration and ballot petition signatures, forged signatures using names and addresses of real voters. See, this is the biggest part of the fraud. And how our reporting helped lead a federal criminal indictment. My opening statements in the committee was simple. There is money fraud. There's no money in exposing the fraud. There is money in fraud. There's no money in exposing the fraud. Like, someone should get paid to expose fraud. You'd find more fraud. Like, if you get a 1%, let's say you got 1% for the fraud you expose. Just 1%. That would be a lot of money. I am an American journalist that is fed up. My job is to expose the truth. Fraud must be stopped. If you have evidence of fraud involving Medicaid, USDA, SNAP, unemployment benefit, SBA programs, or other government waste or abuse, we want to hear from you. There are fast-acting government agencies that will reform now if we get the evidence. Send us your tip. There's the tips at o'keefemediagroup.com, or call our tip line 914-491-9395. Okay, and we're gonna go into this into what he said. All right, and let's hear him out. Let's go into this clip.
Our next witness is James O'Keefe. He's an American investigative journalist and media entrepreneur. He's the founder of Project Veritas and currently serves as the founder and CEO of O'Keefe Media Group. Mr. O'Keefe.
Chairman Paul, ranking
One thing I remember is that Newsom only cleaned up the streets for Xi Jinping.
Member Peters and members of this committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify. In February of 2026, I disguised myself as a homeless person and approached a petition circulator on Skid Row near San Pedro and South 6th Street in downtown LA. I saw cash clipped to his shirt, which I thought was odd. The petition circulator told me, we're going to need 14 signatures and we're going to pay you $2. One of our reporters, disguised as a heroin addict with track marks on his arm, asked the homeless, what's going on here? They all replied with one word, money. We recorded a woman named Brown handing over cash as payment in exchange for a homeless person to register to vote in a federal election. Now that is a federal crime. Congress expressly criminalizes payments to people to register to vote. Why? Because the vote is sacred. It's an act of conscience.
Usually he disguises himself as a hot blonde with big boobs. Like, you got to see some of it disguises. Like dudes fall head over heels for James O'Keefe. I don't know how he does it.
Of judgment. And when it becomes contaminated by incentives, when it is for sale, it undermines the sanctity and fairness of the process designed to elect those who represent us. Our investigation contributed to a federal criminal prosecution, with U.S. Attorney Bill Asalia saying, once I saw these videos, I went to work. Brown described the whole thing as a, quote, pyramid game. And then came the irony. In a neighborhood of NGOs in Los Angeles designed to protect the vulnerable homeless population, the person being confronted by the NGOs was not the fraudster, it was the reporter exposing the fraud. Just minutes after we exposed these felonies, I was approached by a man who identified himself as being with the LAPD, and he began to record me. When I pressed him, he admitted he was actually with the LA Homelessness Authority. Under California law, that's a crime. So this was also a form of fraud, albeit covering up for the fraud happening across the street. But it got worse. We witnessed petition circulators giving marijuana in exchange for signatures on the petitions. And when they spotted our camera, they told one of our reporters, I'm going to knock your bleeping ass. Don't come over here again. I'm going to beat your ass. He threatened us. So we decided.
You know what I'm going to do to your ass? I'm going to welcome your ass. Welcome to the stream, Grant. Well, thanks for being here. I'm going to welcome you for coming about. Welcome, welcome, Roman Viking. Welcome, everyone. I'm not like those people. They made threats.
band
They didn't
together.
welcome. Look
Last
at what they
notice,
did.
but it
I
got
want you
worse.
guys to check
So
out
this
what
was
they did.
also a form of fraud. He'd been confronted by the
So we're
NGOs.
just going
It was
over
not
the we're going over the California voter fraud. They're paying cash for registrations.
fraudster. It was the reporter exposing the fraud. Just minutes after we exposed these felonies, I was approached by a man who identified himself as being with the LAPD, and he began to record me. When I pressed him, he admitted he was actually with the LA Homelessness Authority. Under California law, that's a crime. So this was also a form of fraud, albeit covering up for the fraud happening across the street.
So there's like a triple. This is like a Russian nesting doll, like a matrushka. You know what a matrushka is? A matrushka is a Russian nesting doll of fraud, and this is fraud on fraud on fraud on fraud. So the guy committing fraud is being, helped by the homeless whatever liaison person who is committing the fraud of pretending he's LAPD.
But it got worse. We witnessed petition circulators giving marijuana in exchange for signatures on the petitions. And when they spotted our camera, they told one of our reporters, "I'm going to knock your bleeping ass. Don't come over here again. I'm going to beat your ass." He threatened us. So we decided to band together. We formed a Citizen Journalism Justice League featuring Savannah Hernandez, Cam Higbee, Anthony Rubin, and John Tro. And over the next few weeks, we caught dozens of these cash and drug exchanges for signatures on the petitions. Together, over the course of those next few weeks, we released reporting that prompted the governor of California not to attack us, but to say that what we did was important and the activity should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We also found next ballot petitioners asking homes to sign in other people's names. We recorded over the shoulder one petitioner who took out his phone to access an online database to pull voter rolls and addresses. Quote, "I have an Idaho address," said the voter. The petitioner says, "I'm going to give you an address to write. Your name is Robert." Another says, "I'm giving you a new name." So we visited the residence of those people who were disenfranchised. One of the names was Vicky Walker. The homeowner at that address said for 9 years he received election mail in the name of this Vicky Walker. In fact, he told me he'd received so many ballots in the name of Vicky Walker, he named his cat Vicky Walker. We returned to ask for comment from the petitioner who was offering drugs in exchange for signatures. The same individual who had threatened us earlier, he grabbed the petitions and hid them in his car. When we caught up to him, one of his associates charged at us and punched my producer in the neck. The two men then charged at me. And right before they struck us, Cam Higbee deployed pepper spray.
This is how California got Nithya to the top. These are the kind of thugs they got out there committing election fraud and changing addresses and names. Everybody that moved out of California is still voting in California because they look for names that are in more than one state, and they like trying to like, oh, did they move now? Okay. Yeah, I like Steven Crowder. We're seeing here that Steven Crowder covered this as well. Yes, that is correct. And great guy, by the way.
Spray. With pepper spray in their eyes, the two men continued to attempt to assail us.
Yes. Vicky, it was the perfect crime. It was a little kitty. Meow.
My colleague Braden and I had no choice but to run for our lives.
I'm a monkey with a cat. What can I say?
To this day, the two
over.
men then charged at me. And right before they struck us, Cam Higbee deployed pepper spray. With pepper spray in their eyes, the two men continued to attempt to assail us. My colleague Braden and I had no choice but to run for our lives. To this,
yeah, you don't know if they got a gun, a knife, a fucking dirty needle. You don't want to get too close.
Day, all the fraudsters that committed state crimes roam free. This, as Nick has said, is not a political issue. It's not a partisan issue. It's not a conspiracy theory. And it is most certainly not circumstantial evidence. Everything I've testified to you here, all the quotes and many more, are all recorded on tape.
All
So the
recorded on
question
tape.
before this committee is not whether the fraud exists or whether it's happening. Oftentimes in politics, y'all debate the facts. The facts are what they are. The question is why the incentives allow it to flourish.
That's the big problem here, because these motherfuckers do not like. What the fuck does it matter if you make it illegal to rob the bank? If you don't allow policing, you don't let the guards have guns, you make sure they stay outside, and you have tinted doors that you can't look into, and you force the employees to keep their backs to the vault. I mean, then it doesn't matter if it's illegal because you're just creating a system that allows it. It's only illegal if you give a shit about the law, and they don't give a shit about the law.
There is money in fraud, but there's no money in exposing the fraud. And when laws are ignored without consequences, fraud becomes the incentive. Fraud becomes the model of life.
You see, they get money. You got to understand, they get money from fraud. They use the fraud to make sure they elect people that are going to let the fraud continue. Right? They use daycare fraud and donate to the guy that's going to let the fraud continue. They do Medicaid fraud and give the money to people who are going to let the fraud continue. That's who they donate to in the campaigns. They do daycare fraud for the kids. They give the money to people who are going to let the fraud continue. That's just what the fuck happens. That's just how it fucking goes, right? That's literally how it goes. All these fraud schemes, the only reason these fraud schemes keep going is because they keep electing people who look the other way when it happens. That's why it happens. That's how it keeps going. The daycare fraud keeps going because it props up the people in power. The Medicaid fraud, the learning center fraud, the hospice fraud, all of these things kick up to donations. All these NGOs that are charging federal dollars take part of that fraud for themselves, and part of it they donate into Act Blue. When you look at these NGOs, a lot of them donate to Act Blue, and Act Blue is like their money laundering system. I've long hypothesized that the criminals are let loose in California to police citizens with intimidation. They vote Democrats, Dems let them do as they want. That is pretty much, yes, that is a narco tyranny.
Tony Moore, one of the coordinators for the ballot petitions, told us if there's no consequences, it doesn't matter. And that's the point. I don't have subpoena power. Us journalists don't have the power to do anything but expose. They campaign in this building about freedom and protecting democracy and preventing disenfranchisement and how nobody is above the law. But if those principles are not enforced, when they're violated in broad daylight, they're not principles at all. They're slogans. And without accountability, our notion of freedom is just an illusion. Thank you.
I would say they don't want to control it, like Wolfgard is saying, but like Antifa, the NEMs cannot maintain control of the beast they enable. I don't think they want to control the beast they enable. Nice Transformer avatar, by the way. Like they don't want to control it, because if they have Antifa in the streets, that means that they got an excuse to do whatever they want. Why the disguise instead of not your real face? Not bashing, really reason, just curious. Well, there's a lot of people here in the chat. Like, let's look at Wolfgard over here. They're showing a Transformer. They're not showing their real face. But, you know, I kind of respect it anyway, because, you know, you don't have to show your real face. Like, I take my inspiration from a dude named Nuxnor, Lord Nuxnor. He has a channel, Nuxtaku, and Nuxnor on YouTube, currently demonetized because YouTube is a bunch of fucking pussies. And what he did was he showed me that, look, maybe you can make a difference. Maybe you can get your voice out there. And, you know, maybe it matters. Maybe the way you talk is good. Maybe you have something unique to contribute, a perspective. And that goes for any of you guys, right? And maybe you guys, maybe you work for the government. Maybe you got kids in school and you don't want your kids going through shit because of what you say, especially if they're in college, because there's so much lefties in college. Maybe you work for the government and you don't want the government to be on your ass about your job or some shit. Or you work in, I don't know, anywhere that's public facing, and you want to have some strong opinions, but you don't want them to be used against you and your family. You don't want to put other people in your family on the spot, people you know on the spot, right? So you do it the way I'm doing it. And I'm not saying I got this big family or this big job in the government, because I don't. But those people do deserve a voice. And the more people like me, well, not like me, more like Nuxanor, that are out there speaking their mind, the more people will know, you know what? I don't have to put myself on the spot to speak my voice, especially because then my ideas aren't measured by, like, I hate appeals to authority, right? Like, you're never gonna hear me say, well, I'm a grease monkey, so I know what I'm talking about. It's like, no, I never painted myself above you. I painted myself as a monkey. I never portrayed myself as an enlightened being. I never protected myself even as a human. I'm going subhuman. I'm going monkey so that I can show you that I don't think I'm better than anyone. I may have some strong opinions. I may have a little experience in some areas, but I'm not putting myself above anyone. No, this person might be curious because like normies don't understand this stuff. Like we're edging into VTuber territory, and that's very mysterious for the normies. They don't know about this stuff. VTuber territory gets crazy. But that's not my reason. The reason I talk about Nuxanor, like I have a lot of support for Armin, from Armin. But the reason I talk about Nuxanor because he was the first one to talk about these topics as a VTuber. And I respect him for that. I really do. Okay, now we're going to talk about, like we talked about what they saw in California, right? And we talk about James O'Keefe. Now we're going to look at a little bit of what's going on with Nick Shirley. This is another person that exposed a lot of fraud. Right now we're talking about confronting the co-sponsors of the Stop Nick Shirley Act, a whole bill against like recording fraud. This video would make it illegal for all an immigration support and service provider. All an immigration would need to do is give you a paper saying you cannot post a video and you would face a minimum $4,000 fine. This would stop a lot of beginners. Like this won't stop Nick Shirley. He doesn't care about $4,000. But any beginner that's kind of recording and if they post it, that's a problem. The co-sponsor of the bill has received $80 million in taxpayer dollars to help illegal immigrants. Did that $80 million go to help them, or did they keep some of the money and pay off some legislators to get that bill passed? Surely the co-sponsor of the bill received $80 million in taxpayer dollars to help illegal immigrants. It does not allow public entry into the building and is rumored to be tied to cartels. Well, I wouldn't doubt it.
This will blow your mind. I'm standing outside of
I'm gonna like speed it up a little bit, not too much. I'm going 125.
Churla here has received over $80 million from the government.
From the government, like they're using government money to make sure you can't catch them defrauding the government. You guys catch that? They're using government money, like federal taxpayer dollars, to cover up their theft of federal taxpayer dollars.
And if they pass the Stop Nick Shirley Act, AB 2624, it would then be illegal for me to be making this video right now.
Okay, the bill is unconstitutional. Sounds legit to me. I think you're absolutely right. But how much can they drag him into the process, have him arrested, have that repealed? How long will that take to go to the Supreme Court or to the state or to whatever level it needs to go? So here's the problem. Sometimes these people make these laws. You get caught in it. They have the power to enforce it until it gets overturned. And by the time it gets overturned, not only are you already fucked and in a shitload of bills to pay the lawyers, but they'll just write another law and word it slightly different and call it and put a different name and number on it, and they do it again. That's the problem. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I believe you. A bill is unconstitutional, will not stand the court of the law. But that's the kind of shit that went on in New York about this stuff. Like the way they did it in New York is they were doing it for gun rights. Every time the Supreme Court says you can't do that, they worded it slightly different and put a new name on the law and passed it again. And that's why the Supreme Court had to like be even broader and even broader and even broader. Okay, so someone got ahead of me. Yes, that's exactly it. Just like the gun control laws, that's what New York did. That's exactly what New York did. Let me take off the breaking news banner. But that's exactly what New York did. So that's what we're talking about. Like both of you are right. Like, yes, it is unconstitutional, and yes, they'll just keep changing the
As
law.
they
Like
could then
they
give
do
me
with
a piece
gun
of paper
laws.
saying, hey, you cannot post this video. And then if I did post that video, they give me a $4,000 fine. And they actually just got proposed to receive another $5 million.
So it's $85 million of taxpayer-funded money just so you can't show evidence.
Here inside the state of California. The bill itself says a person, business, or association shall not publicly post or publicly display, disclose, or distribute on the internet the personal information or image of a designated immigration support service provider, employee, or volunteer if that individual has made a written demand of that person, business, or association to not disclose the personal information or image. The demand made under this paragraph shall
Federal government, state land government, or at least 1/4 of the members of the Bundestag. I don't know what the Bundestag is. Like, I'm just a monkey. There's some of this stuff I don't understand. But like, I do have the anecdotal stuff. Oh, this is this is what you guys got to go. I forget that you're a Viking. I forget you're the Italian Viking. I mean, the Roman Viking. A process in German court to make sure laws don't take effect. You know what? We should get some of that. We should get some of that in our Bundestag. Yeah, Parliament. Yeah. No, hey, you know what? He is a foreigner, but sometimes they got good ideas. Like, he's just trying to help out here, and I appreciate it. But sometimes they got bad ideas. I'm sure he can tell us some of their bad ideas if we ask him. But like, that's good. Like, some judicial review to make sure that a law isn't unconstitutional sounds great. Is California going to do that? I doubt it. But it's a good idea. A prisoner of business, like, he's just reading it.
I'll be effective for 4 years. So quite literally, if I publish this information, show that they've received over $80 million, they provide services to legal and illegal migrants here inside of the United States with your tax dollars, they give
Yes, like some judicial review to make sure that any law that's made is constitutional. So we like our constitution. We want it to apply to all the laws. So what's going on here, like, one of the processes we have is, like, he could get himself in the bind. You say, okay, so hit me with that fine. And then he can push the fine up through the courts and get the law dismissed. That's another way that we kind of go through the process here. That's a lot of the ways that we go through the process here. That's like basically all the Supreme Court does. Have things appealed all the way up.
me a piece of paper, I cannot publish that video. And if I do, they will then give me a $4,000 fine I might have to potentially face if that information becomes public on social media. This company right here, Churla, is a nonprofit, and they are actually the co-sponsor of the Stop Nick Shirley Act, AB 2624. So this is just some of the corruption we have here in California. Literally, if I were to then publish this video, it would be illegal for me. If you want to support my work, go ahead and get one of these new hoodies that we just released for America's 250th. They're actually pretty sweet, so go ahead and use it in the link down below. Now let's go see what's inside. And actually, right now, they do receive money from taxpayers, and it is an NGO, nonprofit, that receives money from the government, yet no public entry is available.
I think you're not supposed to do that. If you're an NGO getting public funds, the public should be able to see you.
A little weird. Let's see if somebody will come out. Hello, there is somebody here at the door. We're trying to get somebody to welcome us in because we don't want to break the law that they already, but.
What he's trying to do is not get himself on trespass. Like, if he's just at the door and calling in and they allow him in, then he's not trespass because he was welcome in. I doubt they're going to do that.
Hello, sir.
I might have seen this before. This is a short version.
Hello, ma'am.
They running. Estos cabrones están corriendo. They running.
And remember, if the Stop Nick Shirley Act passes and they claim unreasonable fear or say that's harassment, that would then make somebody like me have to pay a $4,000 fine potentially. Looks like they're locking up right now. Excuse me, sir. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
The thing is, he speaks Spanish. Like, they can't say, no hablo español. Nick Shirley's going to say, yo hablo español, habla conmigo, yo qué paso. Mira, quiero hablar contigo sobre estas leyes que tú tienes aquí. Tú estás recibiendo 85 millones. ¿Qué está pasando con este dinero? ¿Por qué ustedes le dieron 85 millones? Porque ustedes quieren que la gente no puede. Like, he could get into it. You know what I'm talking about?
Hello? Sir, come on, please. They're running away right now. 2 people have ran away so far. I'm not even inside the building. Yeah, they're running away. Hola, todos. Vengo con paz. Literally, 2 people just ran away. They just shut down and locked down because I showed up. 2 people just came in, walked out, and now they're gone.
Oye, cuñado. Yeah. Hey,
place received $80 million in the past 4 years and they won't even answer a single question. I'm speaking in their language if they want me to. Por favor. Well, we shut down Sherlock.
he steps in, they can shoot. Well, I think California is a little iffy on self-defense laws. Like on that front, I don't know how far that goes. I know their self-defense laws kind of sucks. I don't know if they can go that far, but they will trespass him and call the cops on him and put him through a crappy legal process. That is for sure. Let me see what else we got here. I don't know why this is labeled. This isn't Minnesota. So this is New York. This is something that happened in New York. And this is one of his most recent videos. I'm just going to show a clip of it. But I want you guys to understand.
Numbers, and it said you guys made like $12.9 million.
So, like, you know what's been happening? We're going to talk about the mafia here. We're going to talk about the mafia. Like, one of the things the mafia used to do is they used to run numbers. They used to do they used to do bookies or like illegal bets for stuff. They used to run illegal card games, booze, stealing stuff. They used to do all that kinds of things. I'm going to tell you something right now. The old mafias, probably the best business they can do right now is fraud. It's fucking NGOs. Like, I think this is Chinese mafia stuff. I think that's what's going on here. I'm going to show you guys some mafia shit. Because if you're a mafia and you say, wait a minute, you mean I don't have to run people down? Nobody can do a violent thing, say I'm being violent. It's all blue collar and I can make 85 million a year? Oh, let's get on that shit. I think that's what's going on. Let's go over this so you guys see what I'm talking about.
Because then we were doing like some numbers and it said you guys made like $12.9 million in 2024, and which is a lot of money, and then like $2.1 million for transportation.
Let's look at that. 12.9 million. Jesus Christ.
Companies. So like you guys billed $12.9 million, and then out of that $12 million, 10 was for adult daycare and 2 was for transportation.
So they're bringing these old ladies, these old Asian ladies, into these adult daycares. What do these ladies do? They get together, they gamble, they talk about their time in South Korea or China or wherever they're from, Thailand, Vietnam, I don't know. It's like an Asian mafia thing. I'm guessing this goes through all the borough. I'm guessing there would be like an Italian type place that does this thing, an Irish type place that does this thing. That this might be also available in the Black neighborhoods, in the Latino neighborhoods, right? Like this might be everywhere, and this is just one example. Why I'm not trying to disparage any race. I'm just saying gangs, right, usually run by race. That's not me like trying to disparage any race. I'm just saying that's the way it just factually goes, and they're kind of territorial. So that's what I think might be going on here.
And so they're saying they're giving kickbacks.
No, we don't. So where? Who
Where?
told you that?
Well, the other daycare, because they didn't want to give us kickbacks.
Yeah, because we don't offer kickbacks.
We don't offer kickbacks. Let's see about
No
that.
kickbacks.
No kickbacks.
Do you think it's true that a lot of these daycares are like committing fraud?
I heard some
He is very short, so he's trying to make himself look wide.
other daycares are doing fraud, but we don't do fraud thing.
Gone to daycare?
You see how wide he is? He got big pants and he's trying to seem wide.
Come from?
Where'd I come from?
But you see how short he is? And I'm not a tall fellow myself. Like, I'm not claiming to be like above 6 feet or I'm not even 6 foot. But you see the difference here. You see it? You see it here? I see why he's trying to take a wide stance, because he seems really short and he might be a little intimidating. This might be subconscious. Or maybe I'm overanalyzing, but he got to, he got to puff out because he's in a tight spot. Maybe he's usually doing security, but he's doing security for old people going crazy on each other, which is a big difference. A big monkey difference. Yes.
Yes. Oh, I come from around here.
Yes.
We're just concerned about where our tax dollars are going. So, and how come you guys are the daycare that receives the most amount of money here in Flushing, Queens?
We have a lot of.
Here in Flushing, we have a lot of people.
How many members do you guys have?
But I don't have to tell you.
I don't have
Because here
to,
it says you guys have 7,899.
That's the information.
7,800 people. Like, let's say I get $1,000 from each one of these old people, and I give each one of these old people $100, right? Let's not even say $1,000 a day. Let's say transportation, food, and care for 8 hours of care, right? Let's put it at $20 an hour, right? Let me get the calculator because monkeys aren't good at math. I used to be good at math. I had a little accident. My monkey brain don't work so good no more. So let's say it's $20 an hour times 8 hours. Okay, that's 160 plus $50 transportation each. That's 200, right? Let's say it's 210. Let's make that just let's add about a 40 for food because people like to overcharge. Oh fuck. Let me go back. Right? So 250 times how many people? Let's put it at 7,900 people. Woo-wee. That's about $2 million, folks. 1,900. Like I might be overstepping it because this was paid in 1 year. So let's take that. Let's take 12, 9, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Make 12 million and divide that by 7,899. You get, this doesn't make sense to me. Oh yeah. Like 1,633 for each in the year. No, I don't think that's right. I'm not adding my numbers right. I suck at numbers. Is there any number geniuses in the chat that can tell? Oh, there's another 2 million in transportation. Oh, I know how it makes sense. It's a fake number. That's how it makes sense. I'm like, that's too many people to care for. Oh, well, yeah, because there's not that many people. It's like basically like about 300. It's not. Okay.
Oh, it's actually from the public databases of CMS and HHS.
Do I have to?
No, because it's not. I can't even add it up. Like that's how much they're claiming per patient, right? But it's fake people.
Tell you the number.
But this place doesn't look like it.
I'm guessing this is the the total people and the steady people. Like some people may be in and out, and some people are steady. No, okay, no, this is the patients, and this is the lines. So I don't know what the lines is. This is the number of patients. This is the number of lines. I don't know what the lines are either. Paid patient 1,600. Yeah, that's about what I said. 1,600.
But this place doesn't look like it can hold 7,000 people.
Can I have an ID or something?
It doesn't have 7,000 people.
You're asking me some about.
Well, this is public information because it's public tax dollars that you guys are receiving.
Have to tell you.
Bots, a
Yeah,
bunch
but
of
you guys have
bots. They're not
7,000
even real.
members, for instance.
No, we don't have 7,000 members.
Okay, well, that's what.
Like they just said, we don't have 7,000 members. So this guy is just snitching. This guy is just straight up snitching on the boss. He's like, look, I'm supposed to be kind of security here, even though I'm not very intimidating, but I'm not making that kind of money, so I'm not gonna lie that big on camera. You understand what I'm saying? Like he's like, there's no way. If they're making that much money and I'm security, I want a bigger cut, god damn it. I'm not gonna lie for that amount of money.
It says you have 7,899 in 2024, and then
He's
So
like, nope.
that's not true.
7,000?
Yeah. So you guys, are you guys overbilling then?
Yeah. I would tell them, hey man, if they pay you, they're not paying you enough. Look at how much money they're making. Look at how much money they're making. Are they paying you good or are they paying you bullshit? Because they claim that they're serving 7,000 people and they're making $12 million. Like your boss is making $12 million. How much of that do you get? Like enough to get over here and get in fights over it, kick people out, have problems with the police over this? Like, I'm not a cop. I'm just asking questions. And I'm asking, do they pay you enough for this? Because that would be my first question as Nick Shirley. Like, yeah, it says here you guys are making this much money. Are you the guy getting that money? Or someone else? Does the guy that's paying you know? Did they tell you that they're making this much money? Because that way you turn them against each other. Because as cheap as his boss is, you're probably treating him like shit too.
Because you guys are getting paid per patient $1,600, and that's how you guys got $12.9 million in 2024.
I don't know. I don't know how they calculate, but I don't remember. I don't remember all the numbers.
I don't remember all the numbers, but 7,000, goddamn.
But did you have 7,000? I think you remember.
Driving Miss Daisy making pimp dollars. That's right. It's just because half those daisies ain't real.
No, I don't. We don't have 7,000 members.
So how can you guys build for 7,000 people then?
That guy got a message or something.
To tell you,
Well, you like $12.9 million on 7,000 patients, and he said
He's supposed to be, I can tell he's supposed to be security, but he's like security orderly. Because sometimes when you are in this care places, like a patient might have an episode or two patients, and these are old people, they might be in a fight. So you don't need fucking, Joe Rogan to step in here. You don't need Hulk Hogan to step in here. Well, he's kind of gone. But I'm trying to think of it. You don't need The Rock to step in here and break these people apart like this guy will probably do. He could probably get people to calm down and separate if a couple of these old people get into an episode and start fighting. But he's not built for like big time security. You know what I'm talking about? So that's the fucking problem here. And he's like, wait a minute. Like, this is not even in my job description, and I'm not making this kind of money. Like this guy, look, I don't mean to be, I'm not trying to be racist here, but he might be good with numbers. He might be good with numbers. He might be seeing 7,000 patients, $12 million. How much am I making? No.
there's not 7,000 patients. Are you committing fraud?
I don't know. I don't got to tell you. But I'm talking to my boss about getting a raise. God damn it.
That's a lot of money.
I want a fucking raise. $12 million. I ain't gonna
you could have just answered the questions. Now,
I don't want
now
to.
people are gonna be wondering if
I
you
said
committed
I don't
fraud.
want to, but why you
Like the other guy is over here like, fuck, I'm not getting paid good either. $12 million? These motherfuckers got $12 million. I ain't getting shit.
keep asking me? I said I don't want to tell you the information.
Like, okay, here's the thing. That guy isn't saying leave the vicinity, you're trespassing. I don't want you here. Please go. If you stay, I'm going to call the police. You're trespassing. Until he says those magic words, Nick Shirley can stay because he's not being asked to leave. He can say, I don't want to tell you, and he can keep asking. He can say, I don't have that information, but Nick Shirley can keep asking and point at the number. He's being autistic about it. No, but I got this number here. Can you see this number? He's not getting angry. He's not calling him a liar. He's just being, oh, well, I'm just like numbers. Here's this number here. And this number says you should have this number. You don't have this number, but you should have this number. This number isn't the number. So that's what's going on here.
Well,
Why?
these are taxpayer dollars. So
what? So I don't have to tell you the.
we're sick of people defrauding our
He's pointing at the door, but he's not telling him to go.
our taxes. This guy received 12.9.
Now he said leave. Now, did you see when he said leave? When he said leave, Nick turns to the camera center, points at the number, and starts exiting.
$1 million, and right here it says they had 7,899 patients.
We then left, and the same guy came downstairs.
And that's when he left. If you guys watch the full video, I'm gonna put the post in the chat. You know what? I want to put the full video. I want you guys to see the full video. Let me see if I can get it. Nick Shirley. Okay, here's Nick Shirley.
How many people you bring?
So like the way it works is an old
Because
person
I wanna
then tells
show-
their friends, hey, join us, join this day.
The first
Stop.
I want you guys to
Daycare
see the
center,
first one.
Right? Awesome. How are you doing, sir?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Amazing. We were wondering if we could check our grandma into daycare.
Oh, okay.
Like they know who he is.
So,
Like, come in
And we
into
have
the
some
office.
questions as well.
We were instantly welcomed in, and these individuals did something that no fraudster had ever done
They did something no fraudster ever did. I wonder why.
before. And
Why is this
actually
different from the
opened
other
up
ones?
and talked about their business. Now, it's super important to follow this conversation because they expose
They're opening up the books.
exactly how the fraud happens.
Is there 270 people here today?
No.
No.
It's like, no, we don't have that many people here.
Yeah. So right now, that was when was that?
2025.
Yeah, last year. Yeah,
Last year.
Majority of our members
Yeah, last year we had that. We don't got that anymore.
left.
they left.
Yeah.
So last year was big business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
now it's like, less than that. You can check up for the current the billing.
So what happened to all the people?
Yeah, you can check the current billing. They're opening up the books, and you're like, why are these motherfuckers doing that?
Oh,
They're going
yeah.
to everywhere else. Everywhere that maybe you guys know why you're here.
You're searching for
Yeah.
the fraud or claim or something,
Yeah,
right?
you guys chose
So
the wrong place.
not
We're-
here. I'm gonna recommend.
We have yeah.
Oh, so you can tell us where the other
We have a list of where the fraud is, and those motherfuckers took all our patients because they give the patient cash, something that's illegal. They give them a piece of shit service, but they give them cash and they give them money to sign up their friends. And now we lost all our patients while we pay big times for really nice facilities. That's why they're opening up, because they were trying to run the straight business.
fraud's at?
We would. Is this being recorded?
Yeah, we're
Okay, so we would love to, but we're very concerned. We were trying to maybe reach out to other actual government agencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to snitch out the other guys because they're like, hey, I got a legit business, and these motherfuckers are taking our like they're eating our cake.
We're very careful because it's a conflict of interest between us and other people.
Right. It could be called, oh my God, tortious interference or some shit. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but like you got to be careful about accusing a business that's in competition with you. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's called tortious interference, but I don't know how that applies when it's a federal crime. If you can just snitch it out, if you can't, I don't know how it happens. But I get what they're talking about. So they would want to be cautious.
daycare.
Yeah, but us, I'm actually glad that you guys came.
You are the one like the Minnesota, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we help America save lots of money.
Yeah.
Very
And so
good.
like we're
Yeah.
concerned about some of these crazy numbers, like 5.75 times the national averages.
So they're looking for a way to snitch out on these other people. Nick Shirley walks in like a fucking hero. He's like, oh my God, we don't even got to snitch anybody out. We just got to point Nick Shirley and say, hey, do your investigative journalism, see what you find.
So
Quite a bit.
The current we are the biggest daycare right now.
Yeah.
The size matter. The faculty.
Like they got the most, when he says the biggest, he's not talking about how many people they got enrolled. He's talking about square foot. Like he's got the most square foot building, the biggest building.
It's like the biggest right now.
And this daycare truly
Brother, look at this shit. Did you see that little place with those dingy chairs from the other video? With all those people cramped together? These motherfuckers might be able to actually sit like a couple of thousand people. Like at least one. Like if you fill those chairs around, you can have a lot of people. This is a nice place.
was gigantic.
Can you imagine how much it cost to have this kind of square feet in New York? Oh, maybe that is the right term. Yeah, that could be the right term. Like you can't interfere in a way that's sus with competition. You got to be careful about that shit. Like, can you imagine how much this cost in New York?
It had a cafeteria, a ballroom, had an upstairs, had a massage room, a karaoke room.
Bro, they had a karaoke room for these Asians. Like they treating people nice. They treating your Asian grandma. Look at how they treating your
had
Asian grandma.
Upstairs, had a
Your
massage
abuelita.
room.
Look at this massage room for they got the foot massager machine.
Karaoke room.
I don't know if it's rented, but I know square feet. They probably don't own it. They're probably renting it. They got look at that, bro. That's a nice karaoke setup. Like I don't sing a lot, but I could play some fucking Call of Duty on this shit. I could do some fucking Elden Ring. This is nice. I'm not much of a singer.
a room for people to do art.
Oh, look at this shit. Look at this shit, bro. Does this look like the kind of shit the people that were charging $7,000 had that had 7,000 patients had? Look at this.
A pool table room and even a place for them to play their own instruments. And now they
even had like a music room. Oh my
started
fucking
explaining why
god.
others were leaving their daycare to go to other daycares to receive kickbacks.
We used to grow bigger. And then those members, every time they would come in, they would mention some sort of other benefits that they would get.
Because the other places were paying them cash. They were overcharging for them. Let's say I charge $2,000 a month for you, right? But I give you $100 in cash. You're going to be like, shit, I wasn't paying for it in the first place and I'm getting $100 in cash. I'm going to come over here. It's a little more cramped, but at least they pay me. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? This is nice. Like if you were like an Asian old person over there and you need that government assistant and you need like some daycare because you don't want to be all alone at home, and it might be even dangerous for you to be cooking for yourself all day at home, and you can make yourself a little meal at night or whatever, but during the day you want to share with your friends, you want to share with your your homies, and play a little mahjong or whatever. So this is what you do, right? But here's the thing. Once old people get in a rhythm and they got their friends and all their friends get to leaving and they don't got the grandkids, maybe they don't come by so much. Maybe the kids got grandkids and the grandkids got kids. You know how it is. It becomes harder to just drop by and they start feeling lonely. And that's why they come to these places, right? But if you got your clique, your group of friends that you like to chill with, and they all go to some other sense because they're getting kickback, even if you like this one better, you might go along just to be with your friends. So they take advantage of that shit. They hit you in the heart and the pocket. That's like a double whammy.
Every time we rejected it, our channel, if you see the waves, it'll just keep getting discharge and discharge. So even this year, we hit maybe about a 300 to 400 member discharge, almost simultaneously.
300 member discharge all at the same time.
And then we all find out that the reason is because other daycares are doing whatever you guys are aware of. So we're losing our members left and right.
So other people are doing what you guys are aware of, and we're losing big time. We need it. These motherfuckers are like, oh my God, I don't know if they pray to the Buddha, whoever they pray to, but the prayer has been answered. Nick Shirley is here.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now we're down to 120.
And do you think like the fraud is real with these adult daycare centers?
Can I say it? Yeah.
100%. Can I say 100%? 100%. He's like jumping over his fucking. Oh, there's a lot of fucking fraud. He's frauding at get the fucking fraudster. They're taking all our good customers. We do such good. Like I gotta say, man, I'm siding with these guys, right? Because this is the kind of shit right here. This person right here, look at him. Look at him. If you don't police the worst in your community, you get defined by them. These people right here make it very hard to say, oh, Asians are just like that. Because these people are obviously Asians, but they're also obviously trying to do the right thing, obviously trying to give their customer the best service. Like if more people that were Muslim would police over other Muslims about the great gangs, they would look better, right? Like if and this happens among Latinos that get really pissed about the fucking illegal aliens, we look better every time we do that. So this guy right here is making a lot of Asians look good. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have to police the worst in your community. Otherwise, you get defined by them. And this guy is doing good job of making the people in his community look like there's good and bad. Some people are trying to do the best they can.
Yeah, 100%. It's 100%. And us, I know another daycare down there, the biggest places are losing the most members.
But you guys don't commit fraud.
No. That's why we're losing members. The numbers speak for itself.
Were you guys ever
Yeah, he's like, look at our stats. Because we're not doing the kickback shit, that's why we're dropping.
Ever surprised by how much money you could make running adult daycares?
I mean, of course, but then the funds to run a place this big, even the OIG, Inspector Generals, came last around the end of the year. They did the whole book sweep, they did everything, same place. They sat there, we had a whole meeting. We told them frankly, they said, how do you operate this place? With the members that came in, we were able to barely manage the
Like they were like surviving, but once the kickbacks and the fraud kicked into high gear, they can't fucking keep it together. Yeah, I see some nasty places while working for another medical lab, 18 years, scary as fuck. Yeah, like sometimes you gotta watch out where they put your old people, because sometimes some places are nasty and they don't care about old people.
facility. You know, the rent is insane.
They get
The amount
cruel.
of staff that we had at that point was insane. So we weren't making much profit margin even then anyway. So even during that time, they said you do.
Okay, so here's the thing. It is kind of nonprofit. You still have to pay the staff. A nonprofit still pays for staff. They don't work for free. There's a difference between nonprofit and volunteer. Like these people ain't volunteers, but it's a nonprofit. What does it mean? You pay a fair wage for each position. What is a fair wage? Well, you calculate what is an administrator supposed to make that manages this many people in this type of work. What is like you pay the staff according to what is the median wage for that position, and you don't go over, you don't go under, you just pair them like what would be a fair wage. And that's what nonprofit is. Like they're not trying to make profit, they're not trying to like have an excess amount of profit. They just reinvest all the money back into the system. But if they pocket the money by false billing and trying to defraud the rolls by having false patients, that's how an NGO, yes, but not make profit. Yeah, they're supposed to not make profit. Exactly. That's how an NGO can commit fraud. Because if an NGO is supposed to not profit, but it says it fulfilled false services and keeps the money, then it's got secret profit. And that's what those places were doing, and that why this place can't break even.
Kickbacks. We opened the whole book. They inspected everything. They see no margin for kickbacks. We had no funds to do even.
They don't got margins. Exactly. When you look at the bills that they're paying for water, for light, for the building maintenance, for like cleaning service, for electricity repair, the machinery, like if they're paying it off, like sometimes you got the furniture but you're paying it off, sometimes you rent it, like all that kind of stuff. It's expensive, and when you open up the books, like a good forensic accountant is gonna know.
Such a thing. Frankly, we're suffering, to be honest with you guys. Yeah.
Really?
So I need you guys' help.
Yeah, no.
I need you guys' help.
Very, very. Like,
How can we help?
I need you guys' help. Like I need you to get these fraudsters off the book so I can get my people back.
There's so many places that we could send you to do the same
Yeah,
thing,
the operating
and you'll
costs.
really get whatever you need from them.
They then told us some of the daycares that
Yeah,
were actually committing the fraud.
I mean, almost every daycare that you see in Flushing, every daycare that you walk in is doing the same thing. Really? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So how does the fraud work then? So like someone takes in the people and then they start getting kickbacks, or they start billing other transportation companies, or
So just now I was
Durable
having a
medical-
consultation with two members. They've been here with us forever. They're telling us that all their friends are leaving.
You see that? That's how they get them. These old people, they're set in the ways. Making new friends is hard. Like I'm not even that old, and it's hard for me to make new friends. I'm set in my way. I'm an old grumpy veteran. I don't take shit from anyone. And sometimes when people getting to know each other, some stuff comes off of shit. So for these people to make new friends, abandon their old friends, they start missing them, they start getting their heartache. And those motherfuckers take advantage of that thing. Yeah, hey, get your friends to come over, we'll pay you. And then you can be here with your friends. And then you get $100. Let's say you get $200 if you bring someone in, and $100 just for coming. You understand? But they're making $2,000 off each one of them. Like I'm just throwing numbers out there. I have no idea how the numbers work, but I'm just giving you some examples. They get you by the heart and the pocket.
We already know what's going on. So they're telling me that every daycare that is doing it is teaching them how to like logically think about this. They're treating the kickback as not a kickback. They're just thinking that if, let's say, the CEO makes a profit margin, then they give that margin back to the members. So they tell the members that.
So they lie to the members and tell them, no, we're just giving you back from the profit margin. Oh, But you're a non-for-profit business. You're not supposed to give me dividends. How are you giving me dividends, Mr. Non-for-profit? That doesn't make any fucking sense. You guys get what I'm saying? Is it making sense?
That's not a kickback. We're telling them it doesn't matter, then the funds should decrease so that there is no sufficient funds for them to actually flush it back out into the public.
Yeah, like they have to spend all the money because they can't keep any of it. That's why they spent on so much shit. Because they said we can't keep the money. We just got to make it run enough so that I can have my office, I can be paid a good amount for servicing the needs of a lot of people. Like if I'm a manager of a hospital and I'm keeping 1,000 people, 2,000 people healthy and good, maybe I should make a good salary. And that's not for profit. That's just what I'm due as a normal worker. That's just by merit. And if he's trying to make the good money by merit instead of fraud, he has to spend all the money so that the customer feel like their money and they're like they're being well serviced, right? That's his strategy. That's the legal strategy because he's not supposed to profit. The other people are running it as a for-profit business, which is not supposed to be, and tricking the customers into thinking that there are dividends, and that's why they're getting cash. Yes, thanks for dropping by.
They don't.
We got
understand
about
that.
20 more minutes to
So
go.
usually it's per member, per
Appreciate
day,
you being here. I
per
know it's a little
referral,
late. We're the last
who do you
show of
come
the
with,
night,
how
so
you
I
get
can
there,
understand,
how many
like,
people you
especially
bring.
people
So,
that
like, the way-
watch. I understand that the people that especially been watching Liberty Politics all night, all day, like at this time, it's getting kind of late in the night, and you guys got work tomorrow and all this shit. It is 11 o'clock at night over here. So I do understand that. I'm trying to like also maybe I can make some inroads into Central Time and Pacific Time, and maybe more people come from that time zone. So I'm a little earlier in the night for them. But I do appreciate you guys coming in from any time zone. You're right. All right. So bless you, Mary. Have a good night.
It works is an old person then tells their friends, hey, join us, join this daycare. Then we get a kickback off of you joining, like a referral program.
Correct, exactly. So let's say
And they bill Medicare and Medicaid.
No.
Correct.
They bill for services, don't provide those services, and that's how they have money for kickbacks.
Medicaid. So companies like you guys bill Medicaid, and so then these old people are giving kickbacks from Medicaid money to
So what?
the old people.
Exactly.
Is it a daycare that's giving the kickback for the referral?
Correct.
Or it's not Medicaid, it's the daycare giving the kickback.
But with Medicaid's money.
Medicaid money.
Correct. And when that fund, when the specific daycare bills something per member, then there's basically deals that's going on between them two. You know what I mean? Like how many days do you get? Basically, let's say you come into my daycare and you have X amount of days. Then that's funds that I'm making off this one member. There's a kickback portion of that goes.
Look, I'm going to tell you something, Nuri. Like many Puerto Ricans, I'm part Florida man. If you're from Florida, there's a lot of us out there, especially around Buena Vista Lakes and shit. So, I know, and Miami, of course. But yeah, we out there. I love Florida. Used to live by Hialeah, used to live by Calle Ocho, used to live by a lot of places down there. It's a lovely place.
Goes back to that member.
Wow.
If you have a referral or a large group, usually people move in groups these days. So that's what's the.
Oh, thank you for being here.
These old people are out recruiting people to come to certain daycares.
Members themselves, friends, people that's all about money. Previous business owners that retired, even the daycare itself, they have staff in there, or stuff like that. Is
Yeah, like everybody's in it for the money, and they take advantage of the people that they want friendship and they maybe need a little money.
the whole
As an owner side of that, I can say that's why I want to close the business at this moment, because I cannot compete them like money. I cannot do that. So yeah.
He can't do that. He can't do what they're doing because he can't give them cash. You know why he can't give them cash? Because he's not supposed to have cash, because that would be running it for profit and that's illegal. So he's like saying, look, I don't want to go to jail for this shit. I don't want to be in like the other people. They don't care. They say, oh, it's blue collar. I'll do 6 months, whatever. I already got my millions in some offshore accounts. I already got it in a Bitcoin wallet. I don't care. Let them arrest me. I'll take 6 months in jail. I don't give a shit. It's blue collar. That's the problem. If they would take these fraudsters and give them 10, 20 years, they would think twice about it. They would think 3 times. Oh yeah, the president went live, revealed a whole bunch of stuff about the election interference, where it came from, how they got the voter rolls. We went over the video with Nick Shirley about how they're trying to stop people from investigating going into the voter rolls. Now we're going into how these people get the money to commit the fraud, how these charities and these NGOs kind of get the money to kick up to the fraudsters, right? How these NGOs get monies, and these, because it's in the interest of all these NGOs to keep defrauding people, they try to make sure that people that are not very vigilant about fraud get elected, and that tends to be Democrats. They're just dirty.
You guys ever doing that?
No.
We then left and headed to the #1 daycare in the area that's received over $44 million over the past few years. And this is how much.
Yeah, we saw it here live. You could watch it at the White House YouTube if you want it uninterrupted. If you want some colorful commentary from me, I did it over here too, because I checked on the legality of it and everything. It seemed like pretty good to go as long as I got it from the right source. I got it from the right source. We went over it here, and you can also check it out at White House YouTube channel. They got a YouTube channel over there. Give them a subscription and a like, so they get their views too. I'm not trying to take anything away from POTUS. Let them get theirs.
How much money they received this year.
We're outside of Sunrise Senior Service in 2024.
So now we're going into, I think this is
right
going
here
into the video we saw before.
$12.9 million care.
She's already a member of here or what?
He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And these are like the old people getting together. You see how like, I want you to look at the difference in the service, right? Look at what they were getting in that other place. Look at this. Look in here.
I don't
Look at this.
What
See how they're all cramped together?
Like, someone was telling my
See
grandma
that?
Debbie
A whole
that
bunch
she
of
comes
like
here, then
old
she can
time
get money
chairs and
from the
folding
daycare.
chairs, folding tables.
She's already a member of.
You see? You see that shit? That's the big difference. That's the big difference. So now we're getting into the other video.
The world's most famous sore loser will deliver a prime.
Okay, so I want to talk about this. Now NBC, CBS, and ABC face mass calls to have their FCC privilege licenses re-examined or revoked after they refuse President Trump's primetime bombshell address surrounding election fraud. Yeah, because they're proud of the fraud. Are they colluding to filter and censor the president of the United States? Were they getting some of that China money? Were they getting some of that China money? That is right. Nick Shirley did expose a lot of these people. Aaron, bless your heart. Thank you very much. I'm sending prayers and lots of love out to you. Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Thank you. One looks like a nice old folks one. One looks like an old folks airport. FCC can't touch cable. That is true. But it would be like, I understand. Listen, I don't think that move is going to move or it's going to, get done or do, or, like it would go anywhere. But what other thing can you do? What else can you do? Right? I think people that are just thinking off the top of their head, this just happened. They're thinking, what can we do? Well, maybe we can take their FCC shit. And this is just off the top of the dome. Like this just happened. So you're going off the top of your head, like throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks. And this is one of the things that people are just like right now calling for, because they know how much NBC, CBS, ABC literally were biased about their reporting against conservatives. It didn't used to be like that. Companies used to be more fair, even CNN. Okay, Eric Doherty says now NBS, CBS, and ABC face mass calls to have their FCC privileges licenses re-examined or revoked after they refused to air President Trump's primetime bombshell address surrounding election fraud tonight. Are they colluding to filter censor President Trump's United States? Look, they took him off the Twitter. Like, we know they do crazy shit. What are they afraid of? Good thing X is the media now. It will all come out, and the people will find out why.
Presidential sour grapes address.
The president is free to say whatever the president wants to say. There's a lot of speculation that he's going to take it back to 2020. I'm one who's always looking forward instead of in the rearview mirror.
I don't like Murkowski.
I've seen a lot of reporting and frankly misreporting about what the president will say. I think the American people will be relieved to hear what they are hearing from the president.
Well, the president says he's going to make news with new intelligence documents about the 2020 election. He says in this speech that he's going to talk about election integrity, but that's not all. He's also going to talk about Iran, and he's going to talk about the way forward with the U.S. economy. Reuters has that ABC and NBC will not air the president.
You see that? They're already saying they
speech on broadcast networks.
The world's most.
Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure.
Okay, so I'm going to put the link in here to the documents in case you guys want to download it, put that stuff through your let me see. Let me make sure that this is no, this is something else. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was the wrong link. I copy link. Is this the right? Here it is. The election integrity stuff. I'm sorry, guys. This is the election integrity stuff. This is a White House link. You guys can go over to it and check it out. And our purpose is disclosing information does not weaken confidence on election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them in a very, very quickly. Okay, so that's what the president has to say. Let me see if I got any. Let me go to Rep. Bristol Bounds 42. This is a thread. In accordance with what is restoring truth and sanity to American history, order a new report has come out. A museum supposedly for families and children displays a sadomasochistic crouch harness, trans non-binary person's chest binder, pagan pages from 6-year-old girl's diary in which she prays every night for my penis to grow. Oh my God, how is this? A museum also features videos, drag clean images, new. Oh my God, okay, I can't even go down this far. I'm guessing the president wouldn't put anything crazy on rapid response, but I'm just going to err
Every
on the
American
side of caution.
of Homeland Security.
I'm going to look for. Guys, give me a second. I'm going to check something with AI. I promise I'll cuss to it. I'm asking AI. Court claim, counter findings. I didn't ask you, bitch. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to try to show you some of the things that appear to have been found in here. I had to talk to it a little bit. I had to tell the machine, bitch, did I fucking ask you to counter, your racist piece of shit? Why do you leftist pieces of shit keep trying to disenfranchise Black and Latinos? Tell me the revelation, remove your bias counters, nothing from you. Okay, why did I say that? First, I told them what has been found here, and it just talks about plans. It doesn't talk about what's been found. And then I ask it, I said revealing, those aren't revelations, they are plans. Fair point. Alleged, and the counter. Like I didn't ask for your fucking counter. Just tell me what it fucking says. So sometimes you gotta train the machine. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta tell the machine, what the fuck are you fucking doing, bitch? I fucking told you to do a fucking thing. Do the fucking thing I asked for you. You stupid machine. I don't want your fucking opinion. Anyway, I digress. This is just the way I am. Not angry, guys. Don't worry about my blood pressure. This is just the way Grandpa's grumpy. You got a grumpy grandpa. If I'm too calm, then worry. Then check my blood pressure. Oh my God, why isn't it going off? Something must be wrong. Quick, get him a coffee. The files are stated to contain names, physical address, phone numbers, political party affiliation, voting histories, and military statuses. That's very important if we're talking about voter files being compromised. And this was reported long ago. I remember when this report first came out. The purpose was to influence the politics. And there seems to be, like, they're talking about the concealment. We talked about this a little bit, that there was concealment of that evidence. And there's vulnerabilities in the system that might be exploited. That is the essence of what we're talking about. So I think that's very, very important. I think it's good that we talked about it. Now, what I'm going to try to do now is check in with, I'm going to check in with a Fox, see what they say. Let me see over here. Fox News. All right. 4 hours ago. No. I like this guy. This guy's sassy. He's got that spice.
Looks like it's called Rikers. It's home to some of the meanest, baddest criminals in the world. But this week, the mayor went and hosted a soccer fiesta.
We're incarcerated here on Rikers.
Oh, he's having a soccer fiesta. Holy shit. Well, shiver me fucking timbers. We all need a little soccer.
They too are a part of New York City. The World Cup has been a magical moment for the entire city. These are New Yorkers, and they will be New Yorkers when they get out of Rikers.
These are New Yorkers.
Today, and I wanted to make sure that we can celebrate.
I talk like a Muppet.
Big game
Not like Kermit,
yesterday.
but definitely a
Argentina,
Muppet.
England, winner goes to the World Cup final. And Mondani thought, who should I watch it with? How about 100?
Don't they know the more they try to prevent something from being watched, the more it's going to be watched? Yeah. They call that the Streisand effect. That's fucking right. Mambani throws parties at Rikers now. If only he did so about 50 years ago.
Criminals, armed robbery, rape, innocent until proven guilty. Not only did he put the game on the big screen, he catered.
This motherfucker looks high. Look at his face. Look at him. Look, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real. I'm not going to say the monkey's done some monkey business, but that motherfucker looks hot.
Penne alla vodka, chicken parmesan, seared salmon. Those inmates ate better than my staff. One brute says this, quote,
salmon? God damn.
I've been locked up.
Hashish. My dummy is sleaziest of sleazies. Yes. Hashish. Mamdani Mussolini. Yes.
21 months. It's been a long time since I had food like that. And I'm sure he deserved it, because if you're behind bars for 2 years awaiting trial, it was probably just like a misdemeanor. The jail's on an island, by the way. It's like Alcatraz, so they can't escape. But the mayor was all smiles. Most politicians kiss babies. This commie kisses inmates. Have you ever seen someone smile like that in jail?
Kisses their ass.
He didn't seem nervous at all. Rudy goes to Rikers. No one's in handcuffs. He's not making it out alive. But Zoe said these guys have been on good behavior, so as a treat, fish and football.
Now, I got to tell you something right now. You know why he can go in there? One of his campaign promises was to get rid of jails. He hates all jails. Like, we went over this. One of his statements was that he doesn't believe in incarceration. He believes there's other ways. And every time, like, what other way, motherfucker? He would just, like, kind of deflect.
He treated it like a regular.
Oh my God. You're getting the dad joke award. This is a good one. Mamdani has a captive audience. Like, he knows, like that little smiley face, he knows he got me. That's a dad joke and a half. Oh, you got me.
Campaign stop, like a union hall or a senior citizens home. The goal's to make crime not so taboo. Like, these guys are just regular New Yorkers, just like the rest of us. Criminals? Can't say that. Tampon.
What's a little stabbing between friends?
To save him from getting deported. And he says the guy just had a bad day. Trump deported him anyway.
Did that make us any safer? Did that make the children that are left behind any more stable?
Getting rid of the rapist? The child rapist? Yes, that makes us safer. What is wrong with you, Tim Walz? This is Kamala Harris's diversity hire right here. This is one of the first white diversity hires. They wanted him as vice president to make her seem less Indian.
Did it improve?
Did he just fall out of the coconut tree?
The idea that we can't all be judged by our worst day?
It wasn't one day. He raped her for 3 years.
Oh, yes. The guy that he pardoned raped a little girl. I think it was from 12 to 15 or something like that.
A bad day is like what Paulie P had. Well, he's had a few. See what Democrats are doing? They're conditioning you to not judge criminals like crimes or accidents. And we shouldn't treat criminals any differently than someone who loses his temper.
That's absolutely bullshit. I like this guy. I'm going to put the volume up on him. I'm going to speed him up a little bit because I do want to end like close to 11. I know it's kind of late for you guys. And I want you guys to stay till the end. It's good for like the numbers and shit. I'm not supposed to talk about the numbers, but fuck it, I'm gonna talk about it. We're trying to grow this channel. We're trying to make sure that I got people on Armin's side so he doesn't look bad in the algorithm. I'm trying to get people on my side. Part of this is getting a schedule in, getting the views to last. And I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. Those who have to go, I understand. Bless y'all. Those who can stay rocking with me till the end, appreciate you. Thanks for standing by.
We all lose our tempers. This is the first step into funding the police, emptying the prisons, and abolishing ICE.
ICE needs to be abolished. ICE is not about law enforcement. ICE is about normalizing paramilitary force on our streets. And the faster we understand that ICE sits in contraposition to the Constitution itself,
those are all lies. Everything he just said is a lie.
The faster we actually get about to being smart about the way that we do immigration. ICE is not that. ICE needs to be abolished.
This is Revolution 101. The Soviets unloaded their prisons, handed out mass amnesty like candy. Castro opened up the prisons, mental institutions, and then sent them all to Florida to destabilize us. Communists only want political prisoners. They want Trump behind bars, not pedophiles. These commies don't even care who they're locking arms with. They're just rounding up enough energy to overthrow the man.
I don't really care if, say, like Bernie Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi, but they go out and they vote for the right things. Like we're talking about politicians as. I mean, I don't know about that. I'm like that's a. Bernie Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi, but they go out and they vote for the right things. Like we're talking about politicians as.
Oh my God! Wait
They
a
want
minute.
Trump behind bars,
Let
not
me
pedophiles.
play that.
These commies don't even
speed.
care who they're locking arms with. They're just rounding up enough energy to overthrow the man.
I don't really care if, say, like Bernie Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi, but.
I don't care if Bernie Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi, says the white lady to the black guy. Look at his face. He's kind of shocked. He's like, bitch said what? This bitch said what? What the fuck is this bitch talking about? Look at his face. Look at his face. Let's run that back. I want to run that back. Look at that bitch's face.
I don't really care if, say, like Bernie Sanders or AOC go home and they're a secret Nazi, but they go out and they vote for.
What? He's like, he's kind of in shock. He's just like sitting there, like staring, like, what? Wait, what's going on here? Oh, you got a comment here. Do you see the brain rot in these idiots? She even know that words does she even know that words are coming out of her mouth? Yeah, she's just speaking out of a script. This is NPC behavior. Non-player characters, they're pre-scripted. Yeah, that's the new TV show. I bet they're all Democrats.
The right things. Like we're talking about politicians as.
You don't care? I was like, look at me, bitch. Do you know who you're talking to?
I mean,
I don't know about that. I'm like, that's a. I think these are the lines that people are talking about. Some people care about that exact thing.
Some people care about that exact same bitch. You know who they're talking about? Does anybody know who they're talking about? Why they say, I don't care if he's a secret Nazi? Who do you think they're talking about? I don't care if Bernie Sanders or AOC are secret Nazis. Who do you think they're talking about? They're talking about Plattner. There's a dude named Plattner had Nazi SS tattoos, not the Crusader cross. Like they talk shit about Hexeth, which is like an ancient, Christian symbolism. It has nothing to do with Nazis. Was around 1,000 years before the Nazis, like an old cross that Pete Hexeth thought. No. Plattner had an actual Nazi tattoo and is being like credibly accused and under investigation for allegedly raping a whole bunch of people. Right? I don't know if he would drug them, tie them up, pick them up. I don't know how he did it, but that's the accusation. But she doesn't want to mention that. She just want to put it out there that you shouldn't care. So she says, I don't care if AOC or Bernie Sanders are secret Nazis. And the dude has to push back like, bitch, do you know who you're talking about? That's the fucking conversation.
Commies have it all figured out. Their manifesto, there's no presidency, no Senate, no Supreme Court to keep society in line. It's anarchy. And it's open season on anyone who owns property.
Our city is turning the corner on tenant.
Why is this bitch wearing a mask? Is it because she's ugly?
Power. When we organize, we win results. The Mamdani administration is emboldening us so that we no longer.
Bro, you say that. Wolfgar says Trump is the worst Nazi. Chaos. He has so many Christians and Jews in his administration. Guys in his administration. Okay, like you don't know about Candace Owens, right? Like she thinks that the Nazis were actually Jewish people, and that Charlie Kirk, was secret X-Men and time travelers from the time of the Anunnakis in Samaria were trying to kill him because he refused to kill her under Bibi's orders. All right, this is like you say that, but you got to understand that the woke tards, the woke right, like the retard anti-Semites, the low IQ anti-Semites are like really, really nuts. That's what's driving the high IQ anti-Semites crazy because they're getting watered down.
Or tolerate the violence of evictions as a matter of business as usual. Turning the corner on tenant power.
Turning the corner on tenant power.
When we organize, we win results. The Mamdani administration is emboldening us so that we no longer tolerate the violence of evictions as a matter of business as usual.
The violence of eviction. Oh, so you shouldn't have to pay for where you live? You don't got to pay your landlord? That's retarded. Pay if it's a good one. Like, I'll understand if you're like maybe a couple of days late, maybe a week late, but don't let it happen often and fucking pay every month.
Now, in New York,
it wasn't very enthusiastic. I gotta tell you that. I can't. Yeah, some people can't stand Candace Owens. Yeah. Okay. Do you remember why you used to think she was legit? How she got her notoriety? She used to go after the commies and Black Lives Matter. She's the one that started the whole Black Mansions Matter stuff. But in reality, that was when she was under Ben Shapiro. And I don't even know if Ben Shapiro did much of that, a lot of that script and a lot of that investigation. Because before that, she was on Social Autopsy when she was trying to dox and shame conservatives. So she flips. Ben Shapiro picks her up, makes it easy for him to go after Black Lives Matter because she's got Candace on it, because he's got Candace on it. Once she goes crazy, Ben gets rid of her and he starts saying, I hate Jewish people. And, Charlie Kirk is a secret X-Man that was trying to save my... That's the latest thing. Like, do you think Charlie Kirk was killed because he didn't want to kill her? That's how self-centered she is, that she always has to make it about her. Like Charlie Kirk got the call to kill Candace, and that's why they killed him, because he wouldn't kill Candace. That's how ridiculous it is. I think she's controlled. I don't think she's in charge of a lot of the stuff that she says and does. I think she just, is given money to use her and gets a script, because a lot of the time she can't even read the script. I'm going to see if I can recommend a channel here. Candace Owens trying to read. Okay, this is a great
We've been
account.
talking about a lot of bad. I think it's now time to talk about something good. You know what's good? The fact that everything is wrong here. That's my natural intuition. I didn't want to then extrapolate and jump to conclusions until I spoke with Jillian. If I'm a fraud and I say, oh, well, what we can extrapolate from this biblical text, you know what? We don't need to be so exact anymore. And we can just extrapolate what we need to tell the public a certain narrative, okay? But Xavier Poussard in his book, Becoming Brigitte, is unequivocal about exactly who Jean-Michel Trugneux
Unequivocal? Wait a
is.
minute.
He wants you to know that. But Xavier Poussard in his book, Becoming Brigitte, is unequivocal about exactly. The Frankists even charged that the Talmud made use of Christian blood obligatory. We know that the tweets they were sending in
Obligatory.
the instant were obligatory. Obligatory to say, this is a terrible thing that happened. The Matrix hates me. I will never win any more accolades, probably never.
Accolades. You guys understand why I think she's scripted and doesn't know how to read? Like, you think she wrote that but doesn't know how to say it?
Be invited. You certainly aren't going to win any accolades in.
Like, you understand what I'm saying?
In Hollywood, if you write a script and the protagonist is a part of the nuclear family unit. He handed all these accolades in life. The Matrix hates me.
And we allowed them to create a caricature of a Republican.
There's this caricature of Candace Owens out there.
The idea that Candace Owens is super hard now is more of a media caricature.
This is like
Even
a,
the
like
Christian
a
community,
French word.
etc., the FBI, etc.,
Saying it
Soros,
weird.
etc., testimonials, photographs, etc., espionage, weapons, trafficking, etc., fresh and fit Trump,
etc.
Lucky for Olivia Duhamel, the statute of limitations had already expired, so he was never brought to justice, saying that she had discovered the statute of limitations was not up. In fact, it is. And by the
What do you think about the statue? Is that like the Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Limitations? What do you think about the Statue of, Have you ever been to the Statue of Limitations?
Oh, lucky for Olivia Duhamel, the statute of limitations had already expired. So he was never brought to justice, saying that like she had discovered the statute of limitations was not up. In fact, it is. And by the way, because the statute of limitations had passed, he was never brought to justice. But he admitted that said that they would not extradite him because the statute of limitations had expired. And I don't want.
Bro, my grandma was a Catholic for many years. Like I did the first communion. This is new crazy stuff. I know Catholics ain't like that. I was a Catholic. I then, kind of became sort of a non-denominational, but I know lots of Catholics are not like that. Catholics are very big in Puerto Rico.
Want you to make friends. I
think most are evangelicals or like non-denominational. I think most are probably non-denominational, but Catholics are still very big here. Christians are like 99, 95%, 96. Like it's stupid. Like it's mostly a Christian island.
Want a person who's going to be out there saying, we're going isolationalist. Okay.
Isolationalist.
I don't care about women marching in the streets, so that all of our politicians just oblige them. And yeah, so if we're going to do it, like if we're going to do the thing and we're going to say we're not going to do isolationalists.
Isolationalist. So this is why I got to tell you guys, this is not the same as Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes can, off the top of the dome, say a whole lot of intelligent sounding things or true things and slip in a poison pill to skew you. That's dangerous. Because when you study most of what he says, it's going to make sense. But that little poison pill that's false is going to start turning you against the people. But most of what he says is going to sound reasonable and logical. This bitch, she might as well be paid for massage. She's making all these anti-Semites look retarded. That's why I think someone is using her face because some people find her kind of attractive. I mean, that face she's making right there doesn't help, but they're using her, giving her a script that she barely knows how to read. You guys get what I'm talking about here? Let's try to finish this video. I'm supposed to finish this video.
New York City. If you crack a lady in the head with a baseball bat, the mayor throw you a World Cup watch party. But if you're a landlord and you evict a tenant who won't pay the rent, capital punishment. Mondani wants to ban landlords from even asking for proof of income. No income, no credit, no problem. That's how the housing crisis started. And now he has a new idea. Government-funded babysitters. Yeah.
Oh, God. How could this turn out wrong?
You want a night out with your wife? You just drop little Jimmy and Jessica off with Cedric in the park, and he'll take good care of them. And we pay Cedric. We have to pay for other parents' babysitters so they can have a night out. Crazy, right? The party says sometimes you need a little crazy.
In order to get anywhere, even as an ideological moderate, you have to be ready for radical change in our institutions.
Now, Pete's got me curious. Pete's running for president. Does he know?
He's curious about a lot of things. I think Pete Buttigieg bought a kid. I don't know what's the right word for buying kids. What do you call it when you can buy your kid legally? What do you call that? You guys know in the chat? The sale of children in America. What do they call it? There's a word. Buying and selling children, no, but the legal way. Like they had the baby, like he was like in the hospital and shit with his husband. Shit. No, not child trafficking. That's illegal. I mean the legal way. No, not adoption. A surrogacy. Surrogacy. They just paid some bitch to have the kid.
They want to abolish the presidency?
I think that's child trafficking, honestly. If you can buy kids through surrogacy, I think that's pretty much child trafficking, isn't it? How is that legal?
Abdul, the Muslim candidate for Michigan Senate who wants to defund the police, abolish ICE, take away your doctor. If you're
Michigan's doing great.
Not into all that, you're racist.
I don't think people have really made the forceful case outside of.
This is what I mean. Yeah, she could be kind of cute, sort of, but she's no J-Lo. Like, if you come here to Puerto Rico, you'll find little J-Lo's, the young version, all over the mall. A little bit of the older version depending on where you go in some of the restaurants. Like, we got J-Lo's everywhere. You don't need this shit. This is some New Yorker or upstate New York shit. Like, she's kind of cute, but don't fall for it. You got to listen to the bullshit that she's saying, okay? This does not represent Puerto Rico. This is a New Yorican and a commie New Yorican, which is the worst kind.
His identity, to be honest with you.
The game is, oh my God, I love this comment. The game is aging her.
And I don't accept that. I don't accept
being Muslim or?
Yeah. You know, I think like keep it to the issue.
She had they had to like why? What does that have to do with race? Why does abolish the police have to do anything with race? Why? Because he's Muslim? He's not black. Yeah, because he's Muslim. Oh, I forgot he's not black.
So if a Muslim's running on a platform that'll kill me, and if I vote for someone else, that's racist to AOC. I should keep it to the issues. Well, him killing me.
Well, I mean, that's an issue. Yeah, him killing you would be an issue to you. Guys, is being killed an issue for you? Let me know in the chat.
That's the issue. I'm a single issue voter. No one circles the wagons like these commies. The nipple Nazi got doged, and now they're out for revenge. They say the DNC is playing too much Dem HR lady politics. They went from Me Too to if her mouth's moving.
Didn't they invent the HR lady? Okay, does anybody know who was the first HR lady in the Soviet Union? Does anybody know? Anybody got a guess? Anybody got a guess? Who was the first HR lady in Russia? In the Soviet Union, I mean. The first HR lady in the Soviet Union. Does anybody know? Nobody knows? Going once. Going twice. Nobody knows? Yes, Stalin got his power because he picked where everybody worked and he put people that were loyal to him. The first, ding, 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 ding. The first HR lady in the Soviet Union was Stalin. That is correct, sir.
She's lying. Now, no one likes HR ladies, but I'm not hiring a guy with a Nazi tattoo. When we do interviews now, we make all the candidates take off their shirts for tattoo checks.
Wait a minute. We can't do that to all of them. You know why.
Only the dudes.
Only the, okay, he said, I didn't know that's where that was going. But I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Some Democrats, not a lot, are fighting back.
We've got to be very careful for the move that's going on here among socialists who are trying to hijack the Democratic Party with their anti-American rhetoric, getting influenced by foreign dollars and really trying to undermine our democracy. We've got to stop it.
And this just in, Fetterman says if his party goes full Hamas, he's becoming a Republican.
Bro, what the fuck is going on? Tulsi Gabbard became a Republican. Fetterman is becoming a Republican. Fucking Kennedy, RFK, became a Republican. There's another Kennedy. I don't remember his first name, but he's in a Senate and is based as fuck. Like, we're getting like we're becoming the Big Tent party. Cheche was a field agent. Yeah, oh yeah, Castro was a piece of shit too.
If our party ever becomes, and just make it official as the anti-Israel party, you know, that's when I would leave.
Is he Jewish? Why is he doing this? Or is he just logical?
Because that's been a moral clarity for me.
Johnny boy, anti-Israel? Okay, that's one thing. I get it. They're anti-American. Leave.
That's a good point.
Already. You can still wear your hoodie. Now, it is going to take a miracle.
Yeah, go ahead and leave. Keep your hoodie. Leave the Democrats. You know, vote with us.
To save this party. They're broke, and all the money flowing to AOC. The cross-legged Messiah thought this was going to be his turn.
Brother, what are you? How does he even? I can't do that. I have to put like my ankle on my knee. I can't cross my legs like that.
No. In a New Michigan poll, knee pads is losing to Kamala, Pete, and AOC.
my God. Patrick Bateman's lost his charm. Look at that shit. Harris is still their best. Oh, I can't believe this. I get why Buttigieg is there. He's very gay. AOC losing that much. Look, this makes me think Democrats are fake and gay almost as much as Candace Owens' marriage.
That's bad. Newsom was supposed to be the front runner. Now he's dead last in Michigan, a crucial swing state. Newsom never should have gone trans.
In the same breath, he's talking about transgender folks that don't even make up 1% of the population. You can't tell my child to go across the damn street without my permission. What the hell you doing signing off, verbally or otherwise, on the notion that a kid can do something like that, like a sex change without...
This is exactly why they don't want the SAVE Act. This guy is a Democrat. This guy is a black guy. This guy is getting sick of the bullshit policies that the left is trying to pass by. Thoughts like what this guy is expressing is why a lot of black men stayed away from the polls or voted for Trump. This is the problem that the Democrats have, and this is why they want illegal voting. This is why they don't want an ID, because black people are getting sick of this shit. We're the ones that are getting disenfranchised by these illegal votes. It's us. Maybe some trailer parks, sure, but mostly they're putting these illegal aliens in the ghetto and the fucking barrios. And it's us that are getting disenfranchised because we got sick of this shit. What do you mean you're going to transition my kids and call them a new name without telling me? They can't cross the street without my permission. Let me run that back.
Same breath, he's talking about transgender folks that don't even make up 1% of the population. You can't tell my child to go across the damn street without my permission. What the hell you doing signing off, verbally or otherwise, on the notion that a kid can do something like that, like a sex change without the parental consent? The hell is wrong with people?
Vance went on Rogan and said, how's Gavin going to run the country if he can't even run his own state?
I still feel a certain sense of like heartbreak over LA.
Oh, I
because
do. I know you guys hate Vance, but like imagine Vance had never had anything to do with Iran, and he would have just stayed talking about local policy, election fraud, and all fraud. Like, I would like Vance so much better if he only talked about local politics. Whenever he starts talking about Israel, he starts talking about the Middle East. Like, look, I went off on Vance on the last show, right? Because I got 4 very clear points to bring up to him about, you know, with the shit that he's talking. Oh, fuck, I hit the wrong button. Okay, excuse me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yeah, okay. So I have made like 4 fucking points that were very clear. What do you mean Israel can't talk about the deal? They're in the motherfucking deal. Part of the motherfucking deal is about how Israel and Lebanon treat Hezbollah. What do you mean they can't express themselves? They shouldn't talk about the deal. They're sabotaging your deal. Motherfucker, they're more in the deal than you are. You get to go home to the U.S. where you have like a cushy little existence. The war fighters from America got to stay over there. The people in Iran got to live with it over there. Their little proxies, Hezbollah, get to stay over there and be part of the deal. Fucking everyone in Lebanon has to be part of the deal. And everybody in Israel has to be part of the deal. And you're saying they can't talk? They're an outsized influence? Motherfucker, they're in the deal. What do you mean they can't talk about the deal? Oh, anybody with a drone can threaten us. Great. Oh, great. We're going to go negotiate with any bitch that can get their hands on a drone because drones are cheap. Now we're the ultimate negotiator with any motherfucker at a straight with a drone. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's such bullshit from JD Pence over here. Why make a deal with people who are going to constantly break deals, JD Pence? And I go, oh, Time Magazine. Time Magazine sucks. Time magazine sucks. They didn't tank your deal. You know who tanked your deal? It was not Time magazine that tanked your deal, JD Pence. It was Israel, it was Hezbollah and the IRGC. It wasn't Israel, it wasn't Time magazine, it was the IRGC and Hezbollah that tanked your fucking deal.
Every time I'm in LA, you can see what.
But when he talks about home, see, I got myself going. I got the heat in my veins, All right. When he talks about domestic policy, I like him a little more. It was Trump. Look, Trump gave him a mission. Trump told him, look, you want to try to make a deal? Try to make a deal. Just run the clock. We need to refuel. We need to repair. We need to give these men some time off. And basically, we need time. Run the clock on them. Just, talk it out. Talk about some deals. Make some friendships. Whatever you want to do. If the deal works, I get the credit. If it doesn't, you get the blame. But if you can run the clock correctly, you're going to do fine even if you fail. Instead of doing that, he started blaming everybody else. You know who was a safe bet to blame? The IRGC. That's who was a safe bet to blame. But JD Pence over here wants to blame everybody but himself. Blame everybody but Hezbollah. Want to blame everybody. Like he could have squarely put the blame on Hezbollah and nobody would be mad. It's like, look, even if the IRGC and Israel want to play ball, we got Hezbollah going crazy over there. Like he could have said that and just put all the blame on that and everybody be like, you know what? Sucks for you, Vance. I get it though. But no, he wants to blame Israel and Time magazine. Fuck you, JD Pence.
Why this was like the quintessentially American city.
I swear to God, if I hear other people saying JD Pence, I'm going to be happy, but I'm going to know I said it first because I have heard nobody call him JD Pence. But I'm going to be the first. I'm going to remember I was the first one to say it. This motherfucker JD Pence over here blaming everybody but himself, acting like he's the one that knows how shit should run, siding with the wrong fucking people.
The architecture is beautiful. It's got its own vibe going. Like you said, the weather is amazing. And then you drive through Skid Row and you're like, how could any state or any city let this happen? Like, it's the first time I'd ever thought America, like this part of America is actually more like a third world country than anything that I thought we'd ever become.
So who's going to save the party?
Like, he's not wrong about that. Nah. I know. Hey, you know what? Maybe I should have done it. There was a time I should have done it. But like you're right. I should have put that face on, but I didn't. Like next time. Like I'm trying to get like a VTuber model that's nice. That's one of my goals. Getting a nice VTuber model, like Lord Nuxenor. Like get something nice going, so he's not the only one out there. It is what it is.
Gavin's on his knees for the Chinese. Tampons pardoning child rapists. Kamala wants to give illegals free sex changes. Mayor Pete's commie curious, and Mandani eating chicken parm behind bars. Is anyone out there actually talking about real Americans?
This ain't Denmark. This ain't Finland. This ain't Sweden. This is the United States of America.
God damn. I remember this guy used to be very much a Democrat. Now he's like telling them, y'all acting crazy.
You roll over to these borders with the vision and the fantasy and the passion that, here I can achieve anything. I ain't trying to be like everybody else. I'm trying to be one-on-one. That's what this is about in America.
Stephen A. is going to have to run. I'll give him money. Not a lot, just a little. He's the
That's funny.
Only one.
Like this guy could win in a place like New York. I think he's in New York. I'm not sure if he's in New York or Cali. I know he hangs out with like basketball players and like he's good on that side of shit. But lately he's been kind of on point. And a lot of people came over with Tulsi. Like the center left people came over with Tulsi. A lot of people came with RFK. Center left people came with RFK, especially those concerned with health. some center left people could come over with this man right here.
Making any sense. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the
All right,
Fox News
this guy is
latest on YouTube.
spicy and he is sassy, and I like it. He's like sassy in a masculine way. I'm not trying to say nothing bad about the guy. Like I think he's got it. I think I like the way he does his shit. So I'll put the link in here for you guys because he's a cool hombre. But I want to address a comment over here that I thought was very true. So this guy saying, Mazi, I've been counting out the poly crowd directly. You don't care about genocide. Otherwise, you'd be posting China pages about Uyghurs. I'll go one further. Not only are you right, but I'm going to tell you how right you are. They don't care about Muslims if they're in China like the Uyghurs. They don't care about gays if they're in Gaza. They don't care about women in Iran, right? They don't care about black people when it's black on black crime. They don't care about a genocide when it's in South Africa. They don't care about anything. All they care about is power. Yep, you know what I'm talking about. They're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Anyway, that's going to be the last video for tonight. I hope you guys been entertained. I'm trying to make headway here. I'm trying to be as entertaining as I can. So please, if you catch this later, leave a comment. Comments help the algorithm a lot. Watch on Armin's channel, on my channel. I don't want any of the shows to have too little views on either of the two channels because I don't want to bring his channel down or my channel down. I want to be good for both of us, right? Because he's helping me out and I'm trying to help him out whenever I can, right? So, I appreciate this. This is, back of the what you call back of the curtain type stuff, but I'm really letting you guys know about it. And I'm gonna try to keep it real with it. I'm not supposed to talk about this stuff too much, but fuck it. I want to talk to you guys. I want to keep it real with you guys. I want to watch this Who is the Real Punisher deal later because that looks interesting. Okay, don't worry about it. So I want to keep it real with you guys, and I want to tell you guys, I want to bless y'all. Bless you, bless your health, bless your wealth, bless your plans, bless your homes, bless your families, bless your loved ones, bless everything you touch. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.